Ladies and gentlemen, you know what this means. 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on Thursdays. It means but one thing. Unscripted with the crack man, Bill Krackomberger. Billy, what's happening?
How we doing, guys?
I'm very close to you. Look, we have a split screen, and watch what happens here. Ah! See that?
Yeah, we usually don't get this close.
Look at this. Look at this. Hey! Wait a minute. The magic of television. Yeah. What's happening, man?
Man, I got a lot of stuff to talk about. No, I'll never get it in. We'll fit it next week. Usually, we're so unscripted, but
we're just starting.
It's just that, you know, do you guys believe football's here already? I mean, football is like, it flew here.
Let's just start there. Are you betting anything this week in preseason? Or are you just...
Yes.
You are. Even week 3 you are, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
sure.
Excuse me. My God. Pardon me for asking.
You know, there's so much to...
Care to share what you're betting?
It wouldn't be fair, you know. So it's funny.
Gone
it's funny
already?
You say that.
Yeah.
So, you know... you guys put the show up every week. Well, you try to put the show up every week, and they're pretty good at that on YouTube. No, I understand that they're cutting everyone left and right over here. I'm lucky that I'm able to even get my parking paid for.
Okay.
But
okay.
No, but
yes.
No, you guys put the show up every week, and there's comments, and some people were like upset at certain things, like, you guys don't talk about. I'm looking for it right now. Last week's show.
Yeah.
You guys don't talk about games and giving out selections, and one of our good fans here, he's a good guy. He comments on a lot of things, and I could take constructive criticism. Yep. Arthur Fonzarelli, not to criticize the show, but it was 40 minutes of ATM machines, video poker, restaurant reviews.
Yeah.
We're a week from football. Let's go. Well, my thing to Arthur is, that we're kind of a lifestyle show when I'm on here. I don't really give out picks because when I bet something, it's going to move. So it's not fair to give out, you guys that I bet. I could just go to my bets.
And if you did give them out, people would criticize you for giving them out.
It's such a hard line to walk, right?
But your preseason, the main thing is your preseason process is you're simply just doing it on information, right? Who's playing, who's not.
Who's playing, who's not. Again, like you could just look at Panthers -2. I mean, it's 4. It's not fair to give that out now. Chiefs +3. I mean, like these games are way gone. It's just not fair to give out these type of games to anybody and say, this is worth something now. No, honestly, I took a game the other day. I have to pull up my screen real quick, but I took a game the other day +3 or +2, and it's +2 and it's -3 now. Honestly, the other side of the game is right now. That's right.
Yeah.
Both sides of the game are right. If you want to move a game 5 points after I bet it, or after my group bets it, I should say, too, Green Bay, Baltimore. I took 2 on Green Bay. It's -3 now. Well, guess what? The only way to bet now is Baltimore, +3. So I'm not going to tell you that Green Bay is a good bet, even though they have announced playing starters against non-starters. And it's all based on that. It's based on beat reporters. It's based on starters. It's based on coaches. It could be assistant coaches. It could be strength and conditioning coaches. It could be last year a player's son. No, not a player's son. A coach's son. A coach's son said something on his socials. So I have those bugs that read the socials every day. That's their whole life is reading. Matter of fact, those bugs may not be good at winning because they may not be good at betting. They'll get emotions will get in the way. Oh, my God, you're betting $10,000, $20,000 a game. Oh, my God.
I also, the thing with preseason, if I may just chime in also, it's like, look, if you want, preseason picks every single week, good for you. That's your thing. It's not necessarily my thing, right? Like, I don't feel the pressure to give you picks on something that I don't feel is like the average person. You can have a system where you have people monitoring that stuff. The average person listening isn't necessarily going to do that. And if you're looking to us, I've told you this preseason, what we've talked about, everything it has changed from a 4-week arc to a 3-week arc. So again, that whole thing about teams coming off a loss versus teams coming off a win in week 2 no longer works. And if you're looking for specific handicaps, listen, I know a guy who's on one of these teams in the NFL, and just with that communication and knowing the chaos of who's going to play or who's not going to play, even internally, I'm not going to sit here and act like it is a kosher thing for me to then pass on to you what I am guessing is going to happen personnel-wise in a game. So,
yes.
so I'm just being honest about that.
Yeah.
You know, there are other shows that'll give you that. This is not one of them.
I mean, I listen. You can ask guys like myself, Fez, other guys, people that are in that part of the game. I wish we had preseason 18 weeks and regular season 3 weeks.
Fez doesn't this year.
Yeah, no. He gave me a text last week.
He got
said
crushed.
Overs.
He got crushed
on all these.
Yeah. So and by the way, like everybody knows, once the season starts, nobody does more football than we do.
Right.
So it's like, if again, so I think there's a lot that goes into a preseason mix. Now, pick and choose your spots. Kelly Bidlin over here, my friend, has done very well picking picking NFL preseason games. Are you betting anything in week 3?
No, I didn't bet anything this week. Like Bill said, it was just major line moves early in the week. I didn't really get anything early on the right side, so I think I'm passing on everything. So they're
overmoving so many things right now too. When I bet something in Westgate or Circa, I can't believe. Like, I'll actually bet something that I noticed the other day in Westgate. I bet some. Oh, the +3. I bet +3. They didn't go to +2 or +1 or pick them. They went to -1.5. One shot, 4.5.
So what are we talking?
4.5 points. What are we talking about?
Yeah, middle time.
Probably should be middle.
Yeah, you should probably. Well, by the way, the middles have been hitting very nicely.
Yeah,
but now you say,
Carolina.
Here's the thing: you use the word probably, and that is one of these things that I love to seize on because we're on air and we've got to provide content. And here you are saying probably. In actual practice, how often do you do it?
I'm trying to get as much down as I can on the right side.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not just.
That's one of those things that I think we
there is no middles for me.
We way overestimate that in practice, right?
Yeah.
In theory, sounds great.
Right.
But there's a lot of retrospect.
It's tough to get down.
That.
I mean, this is a very fragile, limited market. If you go to bet this in a place, first of all, if you go to bet this in some of the sports books, not here. I have to give the 4 sports books credit. It's here, Circa, Westgate, South Point, and a Win. At least they know what they're getting from it. They overmove the lines and try to get customers on the other side of the lines. Not that they're going to get that during preseason. Other sports books, just limit your 10 grocery dollars. Stations, terrible. They should just take blood at the door. If you have blood coming out of your wrist, we don't want you. So, Boyd Gaming, absolutely. There's so many executives at Boyd that are stealing paychecks. It bothers me. So executives in that work for the sports books. I
miss the bloodletting station at the front of Palace Station. I miss that. Yeah.
But listen, I'll talk good and bad.
Yeah.
I love Station's restaurants. I love Durango Station.
Durango's
I think it's
awesome,
great.
yeah.
I mean, I'll talk good and bad about things. They have great progressive banks of video poker at Durango. I'll tell you the good and bad. So
the new app's good. They have a desktop version coming soon, Bill.
Oh, really? The Sports Bettor app?
Coming soon.
Do you have an account? Because I can use a beard.
Bill, it's been coming soon for 3 years.
Oh, I thought you were being serious.
No. The desktop thing. That was a summer thing, right? Wasn't it like
coming
a couple months ago we caught that? Yeah.
Soon is a subjective word.
But just to let you know, most of the people, I know you probably don't read the comments. You don't have time, a guy like you. No, because you're busy. And you do 5 days. I still don't know how you guys, seriously, 5 days a week. And I think about Gill, you used to have to do a night show.
I used to do two a day.
It's unbelievable. You must have so much money.
I was not a human being those 2 years.
Oh, yeah. But, so anyway.
You must have so much money.
Very good.
What's that?
You missed Bill's comment.
What did he say?
He didn't hear it.
He didn't
hear it.
What did he say? Oh.
You must have so much money.
Oh, I didn't hear that at all.
But no, it's good, though. Salute. Anyway, there's so many good comments, though, and I just wanted to actually address him because he comments a lot of times on a lot of stuff.
We like the constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism is fine.
But it's not even – but there is a design to that also, right? Like, in other words, I'm not trying to just give you action at all times for the sake of action if I don't feel like it is something sustainably good.
Yes, that's right. I'm not going to give out picks if it's Oh, now we have to speak about they used us as big time on the show.
Well, we were too close to the break to talk about it.
Oh, we are?
But yes.
Okay.
Did you enjoy how the way they edited? You and I had no idea this was coming.
I had no idea. It was Derek, Crack, Gill. I had no idea it was going to be edited like that.
But apparently we had no idea we were saying the opposite thing. So you would say something, then they would cut to me.
It was cute how
what
they did
I like to do is map out my whole season beforehand. Cut to Gill. I think these people that map out the whole season beforehand.
They might as well have had me going, Bill is an idiot. Jeez.
No, I know. It was and it was cute though. I got a lot of comments on it though on the show about us going out to eat and us putting Italian American Club on the map.
Yeah.
But we listen. The place is great. We had to do it. We just chose a place where I still think I didn't get paid back actually for the bill, but it's good. It's all right.
They didn't pay you back?
No, I'm joking.
Oh.
I don't think
I tried paying. You wouldn't let me because that's your thing. That's your thing.
No, but it was. I thought it was a pretty good show. People loved the show more than I thought they would. So I'm happy about the comments.
Oh,
the comments on the show are great. Everyone loves that build-up. And last week they called me up. Steven called me up to go over there to Circa. I thought he was going to do some end-of-season recap from last year. They're doing season 2. Did you know that?
He texted me too.
I didn't even know. I was like, why? I didn't even bring money, for the contest. But yeah, I didn't know what they were doing. Thanks, Steven.
I totally missed that comment that he made. Read all your tweets. I know I haven't read any tweets. We'll get to that on the other side. More Unscripted with the crack man, Bill Krackomberger, on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. At Brett Solomon here. Jason gave out Jackson Merrill beginning of the season, and I was able to get it 75-1 at Bet Parks. There you go, Brett. 75-1. That's the longest I've heard on him. Alfonso Arambide. Hope I said that right. I'm sorry, but as a longtime fan of ANG, I am against you telling us the secret sushi spot. What's next? Telling us where you live so we run strangely with I don't know what he's saying there. So we run strategy with Antonio Pierce on quarterback picks, or telling Destiny how to better prepare for her auditions. First of all, her name is Delicious. It's not Destiny. But yes. So some people are against me giving it. By the way, Kelly, let me just say this. I called the place last night, and I said to them, hey, this is the story. I'm going to give it out on the air. They didn't seem that happy about it.
What idiots?
Yeah, I don't know.
They didn't.
We're going to have a talk with them tonight.
We'll test it again in person
Yeah,
tonight.
we'll talk to them in person. Some Trip Tepper. I love and respect Dr. Bob. He's an elite win total bettor, but I feel like an air traffic controller when he's on. Bob, land the plane.
What a great tweet.
Bob likes to be thorough. This is from Just to Follow VSiN. No more prairie dogs. It's so cute when the whole team, talking about college football and the communication system, it's so cute when the whole team stands up and looks over in unison. It is adorable, isn't it? This is from Vegas Vice.
I didn't even get that at first. Prairie dog, yeah. That is.
With communication systems, thank you, Vegas Vice, with communication system now allowed in college football, how are those communications secured, in quotes? We all know that college football is the Wild Wild West, where the honor system, again in quotes, does not exactly work. Yeah, that's above our pay grade. I don't know how they're going to secure it. J-Rod talking tennis. Drew Dinsick, Zach Cohen, and I think Zach's joining us. We're going to do a U.S. Open podcast right after the show. The draw is coming out right after the show today, so we're going to hang out and do a podcast. He says, J-Rod, for the United States Open, if we don't get firm news, you cannot put Elena Rybakina in the mix at all. She skipped practice on Monday and has not practiced since and isn't on the schedule today. Something is up. He's right, but something's been up with Elena Rybakina all year. I don't know what's going on. She's screaming at the press. She's weird with her coaches. Charlie D, USA #1. Great to hear James Salinas on the program. He's the most straightforward bettor on VSiN. Always appreciate his style and accountability. He's he's put himself in a betting timeout. Not being afraid to humble himself is a tremendous trait. I couldn't agree more. One of the nicest guys in the business. Teasers and parlays. Really enjoyed the segment with the rounding again. That's James Salinas. It's fun to pull back the curtain on the thought process that goes into making contest selections. I think we have even a couple more here before we get back.
That'll be a great podcast, guys. I'm sure you guys know that. They talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
You got two previous winners of
James Salinas and Brady Cannon.
Yeah, talking about some stuff every week. And is that going to be? Is that on the podcast section?
It is not. It is not a VSiN. It is not a VSiN podcast. They're doing it on their own.
On their own. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Doing it on their own. And Mike Pritchard, our guy, is on there as well.
Football guy.
Yeah. So it'll be very interesting. And they're playing Survivor, which I told James, I said, that could be comical because you guys even don't have to be good at that. If you crap out, it's almost as funny because their brains work differently.
Sure. No, that'll be a good one. Let me tell you, this is off of football again. We're going to go to I can't believe how much the Eagles are coming to town here. The group, the Eagles, minus, of course, the person,
Kelly and I were
Fry.
like, Jalen Hurts is coming to town.
No,
Really?
I know.
My dad in an old rock band.
I'm trying to think. There's a country singer singing in place of Glenn Fry, but he's very good, though. Anyway.
Glenn Fry no longer with us.
Right.
Yeah.
And the great Glenn Fry. But the rest of the band's still going to be there, of course. You know, the great Joe Walsh. And,
Felder still play with them?
I don't know if Don Felder's with them.
Here's the thing with the Eagles. I am not a fan of the Eagles.
Oh, wow.
But if you like a music documentary, watch the Eagles, the one on the Eagles. It's like a 2-hour thing where Don Henley and Glenn Fry are so mean to Felder, who was the guy who came up with the Hotel California riff.
Hotel California. Yeah, no, they Don Henley will be there too, of course. But
where are they playing?
They're playing the Sphere.
Oh man!
So now they have a residency at the Sphere.
Yeah.
Tickets are like double what U2 was. Tickets are out of control. Out of control what tickets are. I actually put I have friends that want there. I have a lot of people that are coming in to see this. So you can get one of these boxes, one of these suites at the Sphere. I mean, do people have this kind of money? 24 seat admission.
There was suites at the Sphere.
Admission to Eagle. Oh yeah. A lot of the casinos have suites.
Doesn't that defeat the point of the Sphere? Can you see the roof when you're?
You know, here's the view. You could be right.
Worst place to sit, right? It is the lower level.
Something
all
with
the way
a top
back.
on you. Yeah, it does say enjoy the elevated VIP suite experience. Feature best in-house box seats and an unforgettable view. So I don't know, but admission to the Eagles live at the Sphere, 24 guests. Because I have some friends that are nuts and just want to waste a lot of money. 24 seats. They're just trying to find 24 people to go with them. 45,000 and up for that suite. I just think they're just out of control. By the way, I was pretty shocked when I went to the Sphere. What a great visual experience that was. I probably regret not going to see U2 now. I went with a couple of buddies of mine that took me to. I didn't know a single song, the group song.
U2?
No, after U2.
Dead
no,
and Company? Grateful Dead.
With, Bob Weir. I mean, I know a couple songs from Grateful Dead, but they just chose not to sing. These groups sometimes they're like artistic sometimes, and But then again, there's some deep-rooted Dead songs for Deadheads, I guess.
There's a lot of stuff that happens. First of all, I'm with you. I still have yet to get to the Sphere. I have yet to get to the Sphere, so I miss U2.
U2 is the best concert I've ever seen in my life, and I don't even like U2 that
wow.
much.
Is that right?
So was it U2 or the visual too?
It was the visual too, of course.
The visual of that show,
that much.
I was so glad I went. It was unbelievable. And by the way, I can't believe no one, and I hope nothing happens to anybody, that's a dangerous, it's so steep where I was.
They warned you not to stand.
If you stand,
right? Yes.
Wow.
Right. And I mean, I'm not trying to say about Deadheads, but they might be under the influence of something. So it was really a great experience, though. So I look forward to going to see the Eagles here in this box that these guys are getting. But I just thought the tickets were out of control. So
Kelly, it's Jalen Hurts on lead. Lane Johnson plays the bass. Devontae Smith on drums.
The Eagles.
That's the Eagles.
I would see that.
The other thing, Janet Jackson is coming to town.
Oh, wow.
At Resorts World. And everyone's super pumped about this. But let me just say this. Like, years ago, somebody asked me, like, what artist would you like to see have a residency in Vegas? And I said Janet Jackson. And then she came to Park MGM. And it was the most frustrating concert I've ever seen in my life because she has a ton of hits. But she did this thing where every 90 seconds she would move on. She played them all as like one big medley.
It's like a DJ.
Prince did the same. I went to see Prince. It was the same thing.
Drove me crazy.
Everyone was waiting for the Prince hits and same thing. So, every 90 seconds. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love this song. And then the DJ goes to the next one.
I saw Prince I saw Prince more than any other artist I've ever seen.
At Hard Rock here?
Hard Rock was the last one.
Yeah, me too.
By the time he was at the Hard Rock, it was 90 minutes.
That's what it was.
He was an old man at that point, but back in the day, like in Sanford.
Unbelievable.
Dude, in San Francisco, he would show up at like 3 a.m. at the Fillmore. We'd roll into work at like 7 a.m. just coming out of he's still on stage. It was just incredible. But the Janet Jackson thing is going to be at Resorts World, so I hope she doesn't do that anymore.
Your Howard Jones days. Is that the guy that there?
Oh, Howard Jones. He was at Virgin?
I seen some, and I thought of you because there was like 8 groups.
I would love to go see Howard Jones.
Like Flock of Seagulls. They had it was pretty cool, like old school.
Yeah.
And I thought of you. I said, "Wow, this is no." Is that the guy you seen up in that you were?
Oh no.
Who was the guy I'm thinking of?
You're talking about Thomas Dolby.
Thomas Dolby was there.
Oh, he was?
That's the reason why I'm saying I had the wrong guy, Howard Jones. Thomas Dolby was in town, I believe, recently. I hope he's alive. I got the right guy. But
science.
Yeah, that's it. And I seen all these groups, and I'm like, wow, it reminded me of you. But anyway, the Survivor. Yes. I have something to say before we go to commercial.
Please.
I'm just, someone threw this around to me yesterday, and I said, you know what? It's not a bad way maybe to play. He says how he's going to use his entries. Focusing on the bad teams instead of the good teams. I'm sure it's not like a brain. No, they don't need to be a brain surgeon. But like he said, the Patriots, the Giants, Carolina. I think he gave me 3 teams. I think that was the 3.
That's largely how I got to Week 14 the first year. Because
remember, betting against the bad teams.
The Jets and the Jaguars were so bad in 2020, the pandemic year, that you essentially exclusively, there was a couple exceptions, but it is every other week, besides a couple, taking the team that was playing them got me all the way to Week 14. Now, that also killed me in the end because then the Rams were a 17-point favorite against the Jets at home, and they lost outright.
Right.
So, but that is an absolute, if you believe, as we do here, if you believe that the Patriots, for instance, are just that bad, that is an absolutely viable strategy.
The millions, though, may be the better value because it's probably going to be an overlay. I know it's probably going to be. And let me tell you, I ran into someone yesterday that had one entry, down at South Point last year, and he won $17,700 last year with one entry.
Nice.
That just, by the way, that just shows me how lucky it is. I mean, the luck factor. He was in 1,700. After 7 weeks, he was in 1,700th place, 1,700. And for him to come in the money and win 17-7, and he's just like, I don't even know how I did this.
Well, this is exactly right. But this is what I was trying to sort of convey on the docu-series, which is people have to acknowledge that it's not all them, right? Wow. There's a big luck factor involved. More with Crackman on the other side. Numbers Game, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. If you missed episode 1 of Circus Survivor, the quest for $9.2 million, you can watch it now at VSiN.com. It's a 5-part docu-series, takes you inside the high-stakes world of the annual Circus Survivor contest. Follow the contestants as they make all-or-nothing picks over the 2023 NFL season and go behind the scenes of the world's largest legal betting contest. Several VSiN hosts make appearances along the way. Stormy featured very prominently in episode 1. Can't go wrong with that. You can watch episodes 2 through 5 next week, Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on VSiN.com and YouTube TV, as well as a live broadcast on X. Go to VSiN.com/survivor for details or to watch episode 1. Can't wait for episodes 2 through 5 either. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Trying to get to all the tweets this hour. Mr. Bomb Apple. Dr. Bob is yearly one of my favorite guests, so knowledgeable, and your respect for him is clear. I generally do not pay for picks, but he is one I am considering. If this is too personal, I understand, but are you a subscriber, or does VSiN get an automatic pass? VSiN does not get an automatic pass, and I am not a subscriber. I'm just Bob's friend, so he sends them to me.
Yeah, I mean, how long do you and Bob go back?
Till like 2010 or something like that.
Yeah. There you go. I thought it was even longer than that.
Yeah, no, we met in 2010. Martle, loved hearing James Salinas' process. Do you know where he rewatches game tape? Would love to weave that into my routine, but not sure if there are paid versus unpaid options, shorthand games, etc. It's a great question. They used to have these, remember those 30-minute snap-to-snap capsules? Mm-hmm. Those were outstanding. But do those exist anymore?
I think they still do.
I'll have to ask James. We'll get back to you on that. 3JackH3131. Got to be quick on those Dr. Bob numbers.
I think they still do. I don't know exactly where they're located these days.
It used to be a direct TV thing.
Right, yeah.
And it was fantastic.
Well, NFL.com always did stuff too, but I don't know exactly what they have right now.
3JackH3131. Got to be quick on those Dr. Bob lines. Just watch Jacksonville State move from plus 105 to minus 145 almost instantly. Thanks as always. That's what happens when he talks. He's the E.F. Hutton of college football. This is from Bert Wiedemeyer. It's for you, Crack. Bill, I know you are going to be on your regular time slot with Gilly and Kelly this AM. Is there any way you could discuss how FanDuel does not, in capitals, have the college football playoff championship odds up for the last 5 days or so? Am I missing something?
I've noticed multiple sports books don't have certain things up. And sometimes you have to look deep within. I do my Fox show on Sunday. It's sponsored by BetMGM. Someone said to me on there, how come BetMGM doesn't have their season wins up? Actually, BetMGM has an unbelievable way to put season wins up. They actually put almost every single number up. Like over here, By the way, usually they just put over under 5.5 wins. Here at Circa, if that happens, they put under over 5.5, 6.5, and 4.5. So 4.5.
Wow.
The alternative ones. Well, MGM did not have it listed as regular season wins, RSW. They had each team listed with every single season win from 1.5 down up to 16, and they just the way they did it. Regular people, I couldn't even hardly find it. I was like, what do you mean they don't have season wins up? And he's right. It was so hard to find. But now I emailed them, and I think they're going to change that around a little bit. Well, same thing, maybe. I'm not sure, Bert. Same thing with the FanDuel Sportsbook. Maybe it's just very deep within there because how can you not have the championship the championship up? Something doesn't make sense to me there.
I'm looking at them up right now, but this is what that sounds like to me is somehow a state-to-state problem. All these websites go back to a certain state, right? So if you're in different states, you got different markets available. There's a chance it might be down in a state. I don't know.
I just want to shout out Circa for having everything, and everybody lean in for this because this is an amazing process they use. Alphabetical order. Good God. Like, there are some books. There are some books. I swear.
Excellent.
Circa does a great job of that, right? You can find stuff so quickly, but there's some books.
Very good.
Just even like NFL season win totals. I'm like, okay, well, there's Washington, and now there's Buffalo, and now there's Jacksonville. Like, it's just all over the place.
Win totals is the best example because you never know. Every book organizes it a different way.
They do.
Yeah.
But you're right. 'Cause I just noticed that yesterday. I was like, God, look at this sports book. Doesn't even use them. There's no way to find them. You have to hope to find it down the end.
I know. Alphabetical.
Yeah.
Like,
Try that.
Yeah, it's so easy. Here's Tom Collins. This is for you, Bill, as well. He goes, dumb question. How can odds be minus 110 and minus 105 on a game? Should you not be minus 110 plus 110?
Where's that at?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about? I look forward to this hour every week. I record and rewatch many times. Thank you, Tom.
I don't know. What's he saying? Minus 110 plus 110. I don't understand the question.
Tom, that's how the book makes money.
Yeah, that's how the book makes money. Yeah. But however, the minus 110 and minus 105 on if it's the same game, that's reduced juice. It's minus 110, minus 110 on both sides normally, but some books do have specials. But I don't know about that minus 110, plus 110. Kelly said it right. That's how the books make money. And thank you, Tom, also for letting us know. Vince Gill, a couple guys, two different Toms and then a Michael. Thanks. Vince Gill is the singer.
Yes.
That's singing for the Eagles. That's really cool.
Oh, Vince Gill is singing
Vince
lead
Gill
for them?
is singing lead, which is a great singer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Vince Gill has like a voice of an angel.
He is. So now you may go. No? Okay.
Let's say the Sphere, so I might go.
Yeah.
Josie, can I read this one more?
Yeah.
You guys do you. I love hearing the variety on this show. Don't need just the picks. Best show on air. #numbers game.
Very nice of you guys. Very nice.
What were you going to say?
DP also said Don Felder does not play with the Eagles anymore.
No, that's what I mean.
That's what
he doesn't. Because they hate each other.
Yeah. But
also, when they came back to do their reunion, Henley and Fry said they wanted more money than everybody else because they'd had solo careers, right? And so Felder was like, okay, he had made a deal to renegotiate with them after that. And then when they came back to renegotiate, they wanted no part of renegotiation. So he was like, deuces.
This is going to be a little surprise. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Henley. Don Henley, giant sports bettor.
Come on.
Giant sports bettor.
How did we bury this?
Probably.
How did we bury this?
I'm willing to say that probably the biggest sports bettor in all of entertainment. Yeah.
Stop
it.
Yeah.
All of entertainment.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. How do we go 30 minutes to talking about the Eagles and this just came up?
Yeah, no, just something I thought of. And
how do you know
there's been more.
How do you know this?
I just know. There's more, guys, by the way. Do you guys know Bruce Willis was a giant sports bettor?
Keep going. Give me some names.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Oh, who was the other guy that was Bruce Willis's wife? She's a beautiful girl with the black hair.
Demi Moore.
Who was she married to after Bruce Willis?
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, that's it. Ashton Kutcher. Oh, you knew.
Him I know.
So it must be. It's something in the. It's something. It must be something in the little mix there. Yeah. Because
I like how we got to Ashton Kutcher. He's like, who's that? And then who's that?
I couldn't think of his name.
I don't remember him dating.
There was a great book that was written by Michael Koenig. It was they called like Billy Walters' Big Daddy or something in the book.
Yeah.
Talking about the celebrities that were betting.
Wait, let's go back to Don Henley.
Yeah, Don Henley.
What sports are we talking about?
Football.
NFL.
Fires with both hands.
Fires with both hands.
Yeah.
How much average game bet?
Giant money. Bigger. I've never even made a bet that, and maybe his smallest.
Is
bet.
he betting through legal or illegal?
You know,
means?
I think he was betting through legal books though. He's not doing nothing illegal.
Okay.
But he bets on. He was betting like 50, 100,000 a game.
Well, now I am going to the Eagles concert.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's a sports bettor. Oh, giant sports bettor. No, he's not doing nothing wrong. He's just betting.
Hold up a sign that says Commanders +4. See if he reacts.
Oh.
No, you'd have to go Eagles.
Front row.
Just something completely not connected to the concert.
And you keep on showing it, and at the end of the show, he say, "Thanks." I mean, what's he
No,
going to
you
say?
go front of the sign, I love the Eagles. Back of the sign, +3.5.
No, 6-team teasers -120. See what he does.
Guys, I'm gonna be crying there. All right.
The dream, he gets on the mic. He goes to that man with the sign, please. I'd like to see him after the show. I'm totally going. Oh, man. That's how we get to Don Henley.
I sent Kelly a text. Now, listen, you guys know I love the Win. I'm a Win fan. I'm there every week. I think it's the classiest because I just put some great videos up from them. So these girls yesterday, I know they're cocktail waitresses in town. And it just so happens that yesterday the 3 girls were over at the it's Cipriani. Now, I'm sure it's an outside company, Cipriani.
Cipriani. 2 things about Cipriani. The tables are too low to the ground. Feels like you're a child when you're
I don't like that.
But the black and white of Cindy Crawford is fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's good to know.
Yeah.
So Cipriani over I don't think it's even in the Win. I think it's in there's a mall.
It's the mall.
It is the mall.
Yes.
So I'm not even going to say Win here.
Yeah, I've never even been.
I've never been there.
It's a mall with like a Earth Cafe. And a Soul Cycle, that kind of
people
mall.
wearing cloth clothes. I don't want to be around it. So, but anyway,
it's the anti-crack.
Yeah.
It's the Lululemon crowd.
So
cloth clothes.
I'm in there. So they make their own clothes. So I'm the girls came over to me and they were like, "Crack, do you believe?" And I've known this girl for 15 years. She's like, "Do you believe this?" She put like a tweet, not a tweet. I think it was an Instagram. And she's like, "I'm in the service industry for 15 years since I moved to town. You were the first person I met. I actually was trying to get her a job. I think I did, but." She said they charged me for an ice cube. Like I wanted one of those big sphere-like ice cubes, those big round. You get a drink, and you get like 1 cube instead of multiple cubes. You get that 1 sphere type ice cube. $8.
What is
just for the ice cube? $8.
Whatever for like whiskey or.
But even if it's whiskey,
or something,
even if it's whiskey, you're charging $8 because you're freezing ice a different way. Give me a break, Cipriani. Give me a break.
Wow.
So,
It is $8 for a cube.
$8 for a cube.
That is one of the most absurd things I've ever heard.
Gonna work on my Eagles concert signs. Dime lines up to -160.
I love that.
And see if Henley stops in the middle of Hotel California. See what happens. Crackman, Bill Krackomberger at Bill Crackman with a K. Wisecrack's the name of the podcast. More with Bill on the other side. Numbers Game, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We get tweets at Beating the Book. I'm gonna do these live, Kelly. This is from Vegas DP. He says, James Salinas and Dr. Bob, good stuff as always on the show today. Both of those guys just tremendous. J-Rod, Bill, I like when you and Gilly discuss food, ATMs, slots, sour rooters, etc.
Thank you, buddy.
It's fine with me, he said. Tom Collins. Oh, no, we were there at the Tom Collins one. This is a great little underrated thing that happened on the Dr. Bob segment that we didn't have time to seize on. Rob Smith points this out. He says, Dr. Bob and Merrill Hodge kind of on the same page with Caleb Williams. Bears season win total under. I noticed that from Bob. We famously had Merrill Hodge. We'll play that Merrill Hodge clip at some point where Merrill Hodge said about Caleb Williams, nothing special. And Bob sort of said, nothing special in terms of what he did at USC in terms of being replaceable. So that's interesting. Let's see. This is from Joe C. also saying, you guys do you. We said that one. This is from Rick Ollier. Dr. Bob and Billy Crack on the same day. That's like opening up for Limp Bizkit at Woodstock 99. Or was it Alanis? Who can remember what the kids are doing these days? And Joe C. says this about the sushi place. He goes, I had a feeling the sushi spot would not be too happy with the flood of people going there. Literally only 4 tables, and it was full. Tough one, Gill. Well, we'll see what they say tonight. We'll take their temperature. On and on with the tweets. We appreciate it. And Nash, last name Nash, clarifying what you were saying, Kelly. He says it is a state issue. They've been available in Colorado this entire week.
Yeah.
Talking about the to make the college football playoff. So it's a state-by-state thing. Thank you, last name Nash. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the tweets, as always. Best listeners in the game. You wanted to mention something. But before you do,
sure.
Fezzik, real quick, also said this.
The Fez man.
The Fezzik with a text. He said, love James Salinas. Gilly, take a look at that man. When are we going to the gym? Commenting on that James is looking great. I ate with James last night. He is eating clean. He was branzino, asparagus. He is really eating clean these days. And then he says, Dr. Bob featured also in the Wall Street Journal, not in the Sports Betting Hall of Fame. Stevie is very pressed about the Sports Betting Hall of Fame.
He loves saying stuff like that.
He's very locked into the Sports Betting Hall of Fame and who's been snubbed. And Jason Weingarten apparently very locked into why he's not part of the Friday night handicapping show with the humans.
Well, they got a Fugazi Hall of Fame back east somewhere, don't they?
There is a Hall
it's
of
ridiculous.
Fame. It's a Hall of Fame. You call it Fugazi, but it's a different Hall of Fame. Yes.
Okay. Well, I call it the street term. Okay. Gamblingandthelaw.com.
Yes.
That is Nelson Rose, who I've had on my podcast. He was in town for Bet Bash last week. I missed his speech, but obviously I shouldn't have, but it's on his website. So this is a very interesting site. The title of the article is How Not to Get Arrested, and that's what he talked about at the show. And I find this really interesting, how he says, you just want to be a bettor. For professional bettors, there are things to remember. Law enforcement does not care about you, even if you're in a state where betting is illegal, unless they think you're connected with organized crime or you're not paying your taxes or pulling a commercial scam on the public. They make the mistake. They do make mistakes. It happened in Texas recently. They arrested They arrested a bettor and they seized his computers. The cops thought he was a bookie, and of course he wasn't. That's happened to multiple people here that we know, and multiple people that were at Bet Bash. They weren't even bookmakers. They were just bettors.
Is that because cops just don't understand?
They don't understand.
Difference?
They don't know 11 to 10. They think they don't realize a lot of and they don't know the laws sometimes.
Yeah.
They really don't. They're just going in there, Keystone Cops sometimes. So,
but what he's saying is right. In general, law enforcement does not care about the bettor.
Right.
They care about the facilitator of the bets.
There's also some states I found here, and it's on the article, like Minnesota, which will not allow gamblers to deduct their losses from their winnings. What?
This is unbelievable.
What? So you're paying taxes on wins only, even if you lose for the year? But anyway, so now, listen, here's another line. You want to just be a sports bettor. To be exact, you want to be a mere bettor. If you provide services that are necessary or helpful for the gambling for a gambling operation, as courts warn, you fall outside the sanctuary of bettordom. Now, I have to tell you,
bettordom.
When you read this more and more, and literally the Wire Act applies to anyone in the business of gambling who sends information useful in making bets across state lines. So that means if I'm texting you across a state line and talking, hey, Circa has this line. Oh, you're where DraftKings is. DraftKings has +3. You should grab it there.
Yeah, that's illegal.
I'm breaking the law.
Yeah, that's technically illegal. Yeah.
Well, then how about the 25,000 people that sell games and text out over a state line? Like
it's totally a great. If they ever chose, to your original point, if anyone in law enforcement ever chose to make a thing about it, then it could be an issue, right? But it's such a. You're right. Technically speaking, though, it could be enforced.
Like I have two partners on my sites. They're very, very Yale educated lawyer and UCLA educated lawyer, very smart lawyers. And we had a text service we were thinking about, and they said no, we don't want to do that. Now I realize why. Yeah. Instead, we're going to do an app with app notifications. Like I just can't believe that we just talk about bets over state lines. We're actually breaking laws. This is a great article. I am going to retweet this article. I'm going to actually tweet this article from Nelson Rose. I thought it was really good.
Do you hear about this? Jack Larkin from Sport Trade tweeted this to me yesterday. Said, have you seen this stuff out of Colorado where wagering on the side of player home run or player anytime touchdown scores is now banned?
Sick.
Not that all places are offering no side in the first place, he points out, but will surely lead to worse pricing on the yes market wide. And I responded because I didn't know anything about it. I go, banned by gaming? He goes, yep, banned effective immediately by the Colorado Division of Gaming.
Yeah.
What?
I caught a little bit of this yesterday. It just sounds like gaming being scared by Jonte Porter stuff. That you don't want to be able to bet no's. Although I saw someone point out that there's you have a yes no on a home run option, right? yes, no, but there's also over-under on a half a home run, and they're still hanging under on a half a home run.
This is...
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about some of the gaming boards, now not Colorado. Colorado's been around for a while, but if you think about some of the gaming boards around the country that have casinos, now they're being forced to police sports betting. Like I always say, about a lot of them don't even know what 11 to 10 means. Now you want to get deeper and talk about props and different. It's just gaming people just don't know the business. All of the gaming boards just don't know the business of sports betting.
Well, this was the panel that I moderated. That Spanky was kind enough to have me moderate.
Yeah.
There was a young lady on there who used to be in gaming in Pennsylvania, and she was very open about the fact that people in gaming boards are not knowledgeable about the industry.
Wow.
And so there's like this education process. I'm like, well, how does that make any sense?
They're policing it. What do you mean?
That doesn't make any sense. By the way, Rufus was on here. Rufus was saying he went to something, and a gaming official, he said the event was great, but after the talk, Rufus talked to them. One of the gaming officials went up to him and said, I've never met a pro bettor before. I had no idea that you guys get banned. Rufus told us that on the numbers game.
Wow. That's amazing.
Can I just say this? We have a trade that happened in the NFL. It's not going to move any betting lines, but it does involve two division teams making a trade. I'm pretty surprised by this. The Eagles have agreed to terms on a trade with the Commodores, the Washington Commodores. Washington sending Jahan Dotson to Philadelphia. Philly's going to send a third-round pick and 2 sevenths next year's draft to D.C. for Dotson and a 2025 fifth-rounder in the other direction. Now, again, it's not going to move any betting lines, but it's curious that it's two division teams making a trade.
Yeah.
And Washington trading Jahan Dotson, who was just Jahan Dotson was a former first-round pick just a couple years ago.
Their second-best wide receiver.
Right. So it's interesting because now, the incomparable Terry McLaurin, of course, who's never had anybody decent throw him a football. Imagine what he can do now with Jaden Daniels. That's going to be awesome. But who's your number 2 now in D.C.? De'Ami Brown?
Yeah, it's got to be him by default.
So
in the past 24 hours, the Commanders have traded
Jahan Dotson. They've signed Martavis Bryant.
Traded for a kicker.
Traded for
Cade York.
Kicker.
They got Cade York from the Browns.
Yeah.
Martavis Bryant was at least a few days ago, but man, we're getting close to the season. Someone let Washington know.
It's gonna be interesting to see how much run Luke McCaffrey gets in that offense as well, Christian's brother. But that's an interesting trade. And then the Eagles, he went to Penn State. That's not exactly Philadelphia, but he goes back to Pennsylvania anyway. Jahan Dotson does, where he had great collegiate success. Crack, thank you.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Bill Krackomberger, at Bill Crackman with the K. Wisecracks is the name of the podcast.